are back.
I
We
have
are
no pants on!
um, honestly, that doesn't really surprise me.
It's hot here and I don't have the air conditioning on.
Sounds good. Well, as I'm sure our listener or listeners know, we are Cleverly Named Games, and we're back again after the Bethesda conference to recap it, kind of discuss our thoughts and feelings on it. And you know what? We'll start where they started, right at the top with Quake Champions.
I'm excited.
Yeah, are you gonna pick this up on PC? Because that was one thing that kind of caught my eye was that it's gonna be PC only.
Fucking bullshit.
I'm picking it up on the PC. I have a rig for this nonsense. Yes, I'm going to.
I have a rig that
Definitely.
can play it too, but I just don't understand why you only, and especially in this day and age, why do you only do a first-person shooter, arena competitive first-person shooter on PC? It does not make sense to me, but whatever.
Number one, because of oh, I just had it.
They've brought Quake to consoles before, so I don't understand.
CO, like one of the most popular video games on the market for the global offensive.
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike, because Counter-Strike, and then on top of that,
What about Counter-Strike?
I mean, you're talking about why just bring it to the PC because you can you can work against and work into the market that is a PC only game in Counter-Strike.
Really quick, Counter-Strike is not PC only. Counter-Strike, actually, the current edition of Counter-Strike that runs in competitive leagues is CS:GO. CS:GO is available on consoles.
Nobody plays it.
And
No one
who's
plays.
And
No, and then
and when you're talking about competing with the PC market, currently, what is Xbox pushing right now? Xbox players can play with PC gamers. So if you're talking about pushing that, and you put a Quake game on an Xbox console, you can put it on a Sony console too, but it doesn't work for PC market. But if you put it on an Xbox console, they can still play against PC gamers.
no, and who says in 5 months they're going? Oh, hey, we're releasing Quake, the badass edition, and it comes out on the consoles. I mean,
They probably will, but until that happens, I'm going to be butthurt that it's just PC only.
Obviously you're butthurt. Butthurt is fucking shit.
and you know,
Did you win a fucking gaming rig?
I have a gaming rig, but I'm angry because of the fact that I've wanted a Quake reboot or a new Quake for a few years now, and when we finally get it, I wanted to play it on the Xbox, so I'm going to have to play it on PC.
You mad, bro?
I mean, it has sort of like Unreal Tournament look, almost.
it
And that
does.
was in consoles.
and it's not to say that they won't say, you know, at the next E3 now available on consoles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's a clear bit of nostalgia. You know, for those of us that are around my age, Quake was like one of those first games that I played multiplayer.
What age is that?
Shut up.
People that are old enough to understand, Lewis. People that are old enough to understand.
I'm the ripe old age of.
I actually one of my most favorite ads for any video game ever was one of the DLCs for one of the last Quake games, and all I remember from it, I don't even remember what the DLC was, but it just said, "Bring a knife to a gunfight."
Quake Arena.
There you go. Okay. I don't even know if it was good. I'm just saying.
So I mean, a lot of us have been playing Quake for years. So it so happens that I'm a predominantly console gamer. So while I am excited that Quake is back, it kind of bummed me out that it was PC only. Although it's not the end of the world for me. You know, I've got plenty of other games to occupy my time. Some actually from Bethesda, which we'll get to here in a minute. I also noticed that they're really kind of chasing that esports attention. You know, QuakeCon, while it's always been on my radar, I don't think I've ever heard anything really come out of it or news or paid attention to any news coming out of QuakeCon.
What's QuakeCon? I never heard of it.
The last
I thought it was a new event.
The last time
QuakeCon's been around for years.
The last time anybody paid attention to anything coming out of QuakeCon that was not ingrained in Quake was when the rumor, or not even the rumor, when it was verified that the new Doom was first shown to everybody at QuakeCon like years before we ever saw it.
Right. And so it's cool. I mean, one, I think they're taking care of that niche, the people that do go to QuakeCon, because obviously it's popular, or else they wouldn't have it year after year after year after year after year. But also, I think they're really trying to push the Quake brand, seeing how well Doom did, into the forefront, you know. And I think Doom was that kind of trial. Like, hey, is there nostalgia? You know, for us, yes, absolutely.
Is it
But
though?
it brought in. I do. I mean, it's a
No,
completely new
not the
game.
nostalgia. No, not the nostalgia. It's more towards the point that they just released Doom, and it's not
Right.
like they have a concept trailer. I mean, I don't know. Sadly, I was in Virginia when you guys did your E3, but the fact is that for the games that we know are coming out next year for Star Wars, and they don't show anything, but yet we still get like a pretty lengthy trailer for Quake. And
Mhm.
I don't know if did they announce it? I didn't see.
They
I
didn't.
didn't
They
catch
didn't
that.
say when it was coming.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they said next year.
I feel like that the Doom team put like one of the initial like the what we know as this iteration of Doom, not the one that got cannibalized and made this game. But when they got to the point that they put it out for internal testing in the company, everybody kind of looked around and went, "Wait, Quake? Like, you know, you think Quake?" And so I think about a year ago, like maybe a year ago, they started ramping up developing Quake, not just because of the
Esports.
well, no, I think the esports. I completely agree with the esports, but I don't
Mhm.
think it was that predicated on everyone's reaction to Doom.
No,
Right.
I think it was predicated on everybody's reaction to Wolfenstein: The New Order.
I
I think
and
You know what?
Wolfenstein: The
agree with
New
that.
That I agree with. That's true too.
Wolfenstein: The New Order. That was a test to see is nostalgia still would it be successful for us? Wolfenstein: New Order came out. Boom! Most people are like, it's one of the greatest shooter campaigns of this
It was.
generation.
It
The
was.
Old Blood comes out. The Old Blood sold well. You got Doom comes out. Doom sells well. We're gonna have Quake. More than likely, we're probably gonna see Rage next. They're probably gonna go back and dive into Rage.
Rage is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that
And I
they're
think
going to try to benefit off of nostalgia.
as long as they keep doing these uh, remakes and resurgences of old titles well, I think the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You know,
As long
get 'em.
as they own the IP.
Well, that's true. Yeah, obviously that little problem. But I'm gonna push on to our next thing. This one I think is kind of cool. Considering I spent so much time playing Gwent in Witcher 3.
Really?
I do, dude. I play it all the time. Like I jump in Witcher just to play Gwent sometimes.
Oh God, no! Bringing up Witcher 3 to Ryan right now.
I've tried to play a couple games and I just didn't get it.
Dude, it's so addicting.
It takes a minute, but it is addicting. Like basically, that ended up being my thing. Is I would run around looking for Gwent cards.
Did you win the tournament?
No,
John?
I haven't won yet. I haven't won yet. I keep getting my ass kicked. But
I had to reload a million times.
yeah. But anyway, so moving on, we heard a lot of Elder Scrolls new, but the chief of which that they led with was Elder Scrolls Legend, which is going to be a card game. And what I found interesting was there was a campaign with that as well. Josh, I'm going to kick that to you because I didn't really understand any of the lore or anything like that because I don't play Elder Scrolls. So
they're essentially trying to pull Hearthstone. From even the layout, it looks like they're trying to do a Hearthstone for Elder Scrolls.
okay.
And it looks like they're also kind of taking a little bit from Magic the Gathering, because Magic the Gathering has...
Oh, no, time out. If you're going to talk about any card collecting game, you're already taking from Magic.
Well, yeah, but I'm just using the layout as a key to familiarize people that might just be thinking they haven't seen it. The layout looked a lot like Hearthstone, but the campaign feels like it's probably going to be something like out of the Magic games currently released on console recently. And it looks like it's based off the Elder Scrolls lore of the Moth Priests, which, if you played, what one was it? Oblivion, you'll remember there's a quest line that you have to go to the Moth Priests. You'll know that they guard the Elder Scrolls and that they go blind. And I can't really get into the lore. If you play Elder Scrolls games, you'll understand it. There's just too much lore in Elder Scrolls to get into.
And that's fine. I just wanted to see if we could shed some light on it. But again, that one also not coming to consoles as well. That's going to be for PC and mobile, iOS, and we don't have a release date on that.
So iPads, right?
Well, it's only
iPad, iPhone, all that.
Android tablets and Androids.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's in beta. And more than likely, what you'll do is you'll see exactly what happened to Hearthstone. Hearthstone came out mobile first, but then if it's successful, they'll probably move it to other markets.
Got
That's
it.
what they did with Hearthstone.
Hearthstone's on console?
Not yet. It's on PC, though.
But it's coming that way?
Ah.
There's rumors.
Oh, okay.
Cool. At any rate, so we're going to move into our next segment of it, Fallout 4.
Ooh.
Lots and lots and lots of new content.
Dude,
for
yeah,
Fallout
no
4.
kidding. Although I was a little disappointed up until they announced Nuka World.
Mhm.
Well, and this is piggybacking off of something that the IGN guys said in the pre-show, which is you can't do a lot of stuff in the do a lot of like Fallout Workshop or Fallout Creation Engine type stuff because the fact that you open the game up to mods now, so much of that Creation Engine stuff can be done outside of
the setup that they just made.
Yeah, it can be done within mods now. Like I specifically mentioned when they showed that you could build your own vaults.
Yeah, that's already
There's a mod that allows you to do this already.
Well, looking at it on the other side, for those of us that, want to be creative but don't really understand the mod culture or the technique behind using it, you think maybe this is a way to include them and bring them kind of in?
Maybe, but the thing is though is that so many of the mods now, like the mods for Fallout, they've made it so easy to integrate them.
Right.
That I mean the build your own vault or build your own your vault is essentially just the extension of the game, the creating engine that's already in the game that allows you to create settlements. So they just expanded onto that. So,
but
I just don't know. I mean, the only benefit that I see to this is for people that are achievement people, because Fallout mods. If you enable Fallout mods, it disables achievements in the game. If you want to get achievements and you haven't played through Fallout, like I have not finished Fallout. So if I wanted to do all those things, like build a vault and whatnot, without using mods and to still get achievements, then I could use the creation engine aspects.
Right.
But the Nuka World thing was the big huge thing for me because that's an actual piece of DLC.
Lewis, what about you, man? You played quite a bit of Fallout, didn't you?
yeah, I was actually playing it a little bit ago, but I don't know. It's really interesting. I just want to see if this is sort of like the vault aspect of it. If it's gonna be like the workshop type of DLC where they just give you these tools and that's it, or there's actually a story behind being this overseer to this vault. Because either you have to, because what I don't see is how you could just create a vault, like how it ties to the story. Because these vaults were created before the bombs fell, 100 years ago. Right. So either you can control a current vault and just edit it, or there's a part of the story where you
Can we also add the third thought of vault that was just being dug out right when the bombs dropped?
That could be.
And so you literally have this big open cave, and you go, okay, build a vault now.
Yeah, the DLC could be like, oh, look, there's this vault that we just discovered that wasn't finished, and then you get to do what you want with it.
That's what I think is this is just going to be like a dug out area. Dig dug area?
Dug out.
Gotcha.
Dug out.
He doesn't got dig dug.
The biggest, aside from the DLC, the biggest, I think, announcement to Fallout 4 was the fact that they are going to be making it compatible with VR and making it compatible with Vive. That
which we will get to. Don't be jumping ahead.
no, you said this is a
I'm
Fallout.
not dead yet. I'm just kidding.
No, I like this. This is happy. This makes me happy.
No, but yeah, I do want to get into that. I think that's ridiculously fascinating, and you know what? Why don't we just jump into that right now? Because we talked about Doom a little bit. We talked about Fallout. Holy crap! Like the people that are at E3 right now, like literally blocks away from me, are getting to try VR with Doom and with Fallout.
Dude,
And by the way,
there's so many people
that's
on
a
Twitter right
crazy
now
thought.
talking about it. There's so many people on Twitter from gaming companies talking about it right now. They're all like, I'm next in line to try Fallout in VR, and I'm just like, okay, Fallout in VR would be really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Doom in VR though would be scary as hell.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I can fuck with that, honestly. Like,
well, and think about it. They're coming out and going, "Oh, hey, it's on the Vive platform," i.e., like it's there. You can buy it in their storefront,
got it.
and so that means that it's kind of like Fallout. I don't know how either Fallout, i.e., Bethesda latched on to Vive, or Vive kind of went on Bethesda and went, "Hey, we got this idea." And it's gonna make Vive jump.
If Bethesda,
This is the first legitimate game to come out for VR. Absolutely legitimate game.
If this is the beginning of Bethesda, like them coming out and saying we have a partnership with Vive, like if they come out and say officially we are partnered with Vive, that. Sorry, Oculus.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean that has huge implications if in fact it's an exclusive partnership.
well, no, but see, and this could the future be where you have Oculus and Microsoft, you have Vive and Steam with Bethesda latching onto that, and then a PlayStation with PSVR.
I don't want to comment on the PlayStation with PSVR because I really want to see how their conference goes.
No, I don't disagree with that. And no, and when with a focus on Bethesda.
Right. And that's the thing is everybody's going to have shots of their own to fire in terms of VR and surprises. But I think that's really interesting. Those are two huge titles, two of the hugest titles we've seen so far get tied to VR.
Is this also one of the first developers that have specifically come out and going, "Hey, we're doing VR," not as like not as an adjunct to their actual VR
headset. And it is. It absolutely is.
Yeah, and that's massive. And they're starting off with Fallout 4.
It's also the first developer that literally came out and said, not only are we doing VR, but we're solving problems that people said weren't solvable in VR to make these games possible.
I mean, it's a huge, bold claim. And for one, I have absolutely no interest in VR. I think it's a little bit much for me, at least me personally.
If it's not in the cabinet.
Well, and that, and the fact that I will forever be an old school type gamer. You know what I mean? I will try it. I think it's interesting. I just think it takes me too much out of the world. You know what I mean? I played VR and Oculus Rift, and it just bugged me out. You know, it really kind of messed me up. To do that at that level and what Bethesda's capable of, the implications of that, like playing devil's advocate, I'm like, we'll never see anybody ever again. you know what I mean? Like
Matrix.
And then the YouTube video starts, prank the dude while he's in VR.
What if they're collabing with Oculus in the end? Because, okay, I know last podcast we speculated that Microsoft was gonna come out and say we've been working with Oculus and whatever, and they're teaming up. If Bethesda, how they're working with Xbox to bring mods, and Microsoft says, hey, by the way, we're doing this stuff with Oculus. How about you want to do stuff with Fallout with Oculus, and then they come out doing that.
It's possible. I mean, and exactly. This is so new and so fresh, and this announcement came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody across any of the big names, the IGNs, the Game Informers, the
Nope.
Polygons, the
No,
GameSpots.
nobody in any
No
pre-show.
Nobody had any notion, inkling, or idea that this was going to go down. And for me, it's the biggest announcement so far. Like, absolutely so far.
Absolutely.
I don't know about
You
that,
know.
dude. Prey is pretty big.
And
Well, let's see. Praise big in an individual thing.
yeah,
This is actual industry defining.
overreaching. Absolutely. Like, I mean, every other company has to be saying, what do we have? How does this shape up to what we've got?
Does it
store
also
and
start battle
presentation?
lines between
No.
and no, like, okay, so Bethesda goes Vive and Firaxis. I don't know why I thought of Firaxis. Firaxis goes Oculus, and then another falls for, and then all of a sudden you just have all these developers falling each way down the
You
board.
know, I feel like developers
The new console wars.
but here's the thing. I feel like developers and all them, they don't see it the way gamers do. They just do the job.
Well, no, but see, here's the thing. Then why say just Vive? Why not
Because
say
that's
for VR?
probably because that's who paid their bills to do the study.
Ah, that's actually a really
Or-
good point.
Or
But the-
Oculus, like I mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
Could also be specs related.
You know, it could be a number of different things that we are never privy to behind the scenes.
But I was surprised
You know what I'm saying?
a company like EA hasn't, like, it's surprising that Bethesda is the first one to go full into that VR.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well,
EA has a number of its own problems that it needs to solve besides VR, and we already.
And plus, let's just put it this way: I guarantee you, in their R&D, EA has this shit going on. But it's also Bethesda, and let's say that Bethesda has some really amazing people in its staff.
And you know, you look at the way they present their games, the way their games come out. It almost seemed like a natural progression. Like, of course they would do something like this because the guys at Bethesda, they're visionaries. Like, they're true visionaries. And I don't even play half their games, and I can understand how special Fallout 4 is, and I don't play it. You know, I played 2 hours of it. It wasn't for me, but I can see why it's such a big deal.
Plus, on top of that, let's just say that Bethesda feels like it can run with more of its own, like, this is what we're just going to do. Where EA kind of has to look around as a corporation and go, can we do this? Can we do this? It feels like Bethesda is just running a lot less like a massive financial institution, like, well, not financial, but a massive institution like EA.
You know, I feel like they're what Respawn is shooting for. You know what I mean? With Titanfall and the other
Yeah.
IPs.
Oh yeah, I mean, but you know what? Between everybody's shooting for, all the smaller dev teams or dev companies are shooting for Bethesda, and Bethesda shooting for Ubisoft.
Yeah, and I think in many ways Bethesda can surpass Ubisoft. And that's coming from a huge Ubisoft fan.
No, and I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
And it's actually because I think as long as Bethesda keeps that spirit is what I was defining earlier, to go, we're just going to do effing VR, and no one's going to stop us.
Right.
That spirit that Bethesda seems to have,
Mm-hmm.
as long as they keep that, they can be much better than Ubisoft.
Yeah, and they can't lose. And I think they win constantly, and they won 2015 by just doing them, by just being who they are and doing what they do, and everybody can see the passion and see that. You know, I think one of the coolest things, skipping to the very end of the presentation, was the president showing the picture of all the teams and saying a round of applause for these guys. And I think that's so important and something that we lose because we only get to see the end product. You know, now that we've come together and we've been meeting people in the industry, and, you know, PJ's down right now at EA Play, and I got to go last year, you get to really see the work behind what these people do and the passion in their eyes, and it doesn't always get conveyed. and I really applaud Bethesda for actually taking the end of the encore being, thank you very much everyone else for the work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was I absolutely love that. But moving on, another thing that we were speculating about pretty much all week got leaked. The Skyrim remaster special edition. I mean, it's obvious that was going to go down.
If it's Bethesda in the concept, they already came out with the remastered edition of Dishonored, and that went well.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
Now
I didn't expect them to do what they did with Skyrim though, because I mean,
well,
I
you
expected them to do
expected it so much that you predicted it.
No, I expected them to do a remaster, but I didn't expect them, because I have Skyrim on PC and I can play Skyrim on ultra settings. And when I look at the visual changes that they showed on the trailer for it, they actually kicked the visuals up above what the ultra setting visuals are on PC. So I didn't expect them to actually go in there and do work on the graphical settings. I expected them to kind of do what they did with the definitive edition of Dishonored, which is just, we're going to just bump it up to the top end settings that the PCs could have ran Dishonored at back then. But they actually went in there and tinkered and changed the lighting engines and upgraded the visuals. And not only that, but we're getting the mod support for it. So yeah, they went above and beyond what I expected. I expected the mods, but I'm happy to see that we're going to get actually more out of that package than what I was expecting to have.
Because I don't remember hearing mods.
They showed mods.
Yeah,
it did show the mods.
Okay.
Which means for any of you that are not a PC Skyrim player, have never played Skyrim on PC, or don't have friends that played Skyrim on PC, there is an entire continent that was added by a modder with storylines voiced and everything to that game that you could only get if you were a PC person that dabbled in mods. It was so good that Bethesda was blown away by him, and they hired that guy on their staff as a programmer for him. So we're going to be able to play that now on console, which is cool.
But Josh, there's Witcher 3, man.
Yeah, but Witcher 3 is absolutely amazing.
Dude, I feel like such a jackass for not playing it sooner.
But Skyrim is one of those games that's like iconic now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what they did with the PC mods, I mean, they were talking about it for months. Everybody who was coming up with new and better things that added on. It was one of the first big mod games.
Or there were jokes. There were great joke mods. Like everybody thought it was funny in the game of how the physics were designed. So somebody made a mod that's literally, you cast blocks of rolling cheese, and if you get up on top of a hill, you can cast them, and if there's enough of them, they will kill people. Or somebody thought it was funny that everybody made a meme out of I took an arrow to the knee. So somebody literally made a spell that shoots an arrow into your opponent's knee, and it's a one-hit kill.
And the possibilities are endless. I mean, that's really cool that we're getting it. Me personally, I don't know. You know, I still haven't finished Skyrim at all or started.
Neither have I.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, now that I think about it, so much time would have to go back into that game.
Yeah.
Well, it's not very much. I mean, if you've done everything else, you just go and do the story.
Since I figured Josh is going to get it, then I can do it at some point. But
I have an exploring bug. I can't not explore.
Nice.
But October is already devoted to Titanfall and Gears of War for me. I'm not sure I'm gonna have time to play Skyrim again.
Is that what the date is for it?
It's not the same date, but I said October. So I believe it's the 11th, and that's the same date as Gears. And then
sorry, the Gears.
And then
oh no, Gears would be just fine.
And then Titanfall is the next.
No, I meant like as a personal sorry. I'm not touching Gears.
Gotcha.
I didn't see. Oh, what's the release
Wait,
date for
Danny, you're
Res-
actually gonna play Skyrim?
No.
No, I said Titanfall.
Oh,
What's the date for Titanfall?
okay.
Titanfall's
I think that's the week after Gears, so like 28th, 20th.
yeah, somewhere
October
around
28th. Did they give a Battlefield release?
Yeah, dude, Battlefield's coming out a week ahead of Titanfall.
Oh my god, October's crazy.
there. Yeah, I
We
mean,
say that. No, we say that every year, and
and then
things
something
get
gets
pushed.
moved.
Yeah,
Something gets
something's
moved.
gonna get delayed.
November 11th, though. There's like 3 games that are launching on November 11th.
As of right now, it happened last year too, and then somebody'll blink and somebody will move their date, or
Battlefield's
somebody
not
will need
moving. That's for
somebody
sure.
will need a little bit more time to
Gears
prepare.
isn't moving though. I mean, it's been in development for a
No,
while.
Gears is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Microsoft doesn't really push back that often.
EA seems
Um,
really, really,
Confident.
really, really confident in both Titanfall and Battlefield 1.
Well, if it
so
plays- if
I
it
don't
plays-
see them moving.
If it plays nearly as good as PJ's been texting me, then it's gonna be on time.
Why
Um,
is he doing it to the
common
group
nature.
instead of just your
Let's not
text?
deny that.
Because he's saving it for the next podcast. We're gonna get impressions of PJ's time at E3 as the whole week goes along.
Well,
You
then
know.
you're ruining it now.
Can't share it with us? What a
Like
fucker.
a child. But let's go to something that really interests me. A new IP out of nowhere, Prey.
Semi-new
Well,
IP?
not a new
new.
IP, a rebooted IP.
Yeah,
Reboot.
that's not new.
Reboot. Okay, I don't know Prey. So I thought it was, I didn't
I
think
don't
it
know,
was the same
Prey.
thing. I don't know Prey.
I don't know, Prey. I'm sorry.
Prey was this interesting game from the early 360 that a lot of people still have love for, and all that I can remember about it is that it had doors that looked like freaking assholes that you went through.
That sounds awful.
It was pretty awful.
Well, I liked it because it seemed to have a Twilight Zone vibe, man, with the intro, with the welcome.
That's very different than what the original game was.
The Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that.
PJ.
Mm-hmm. So we didn't get much. I mean, the trailer didn't reveal all that much about what's going on, but I really found it intriguing. As a mystery that I would want to unravel.
You know what? It looks.
And I don't really do
corridory.
scary shit.
It looks corridory, but I actually really enjoy that because this game, it looks like it's so aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
It's kind of like this game almost. I almost get the feel of Dishonored if Dishonored was supposed to look a lot more realistic.
Or in space. Dishonored in space.
And space, fine, and space. And
yeah, so more on that I'm sure will be coming in the next few months. No release date on that, so I'm sure we've got some time to wait, and we'll get it as it develops. Doom, they were really, beating their chest about how great Doom was, and rightly so because Doom is absolutely awesome. Doom Snap Map, so they're just modding everything. It seems like.
Well, I mean, Doom's launch was Snap Map, but yeah, they're just adding a bunch of content to it. It's like, here's more content for Snap Map. Here's so that you can use a weapon.
Free updates. Well, I figured it seems like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's a Mario Maker for first-person shooters.
Yeah, there's.
To a degree.
I think that the reason that they're doing it, they specifically mentioned creating single-player experiences is because part of the modding community around, or not modding community, but part of the Snap Map community is trying to rebuild the original Doom in Snap Map, so that you can literally go and download every map from the original Doom and essentially play the original Doom campaign on this engine.
That would be
so I think
cool.
this is just Bethesda being like, hey, we see what you're doing. We're going to tip our hat to you and help you out. Because that way we don't have to do it.
For sure. And we have a new DLC coming out next month for
Yep.
that as well.
Multiplayer.
Should be cool. New weapons and new maps and yada yada yada. All that crap.
New demon.
Yep. And another classy move I thought from Bethesda to promote. You can play the first level of Doom starting tonight for free on all the platforms, PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, for the week of E3. And I thought that was a really, really cool way to
They're going to make
drum up even
so
more
much money.
business.
I agree
Yeah.
with.
So much.
Yes, because they're gonna get the people who have been lingering around the edges.
Right.
And what better way to get them than by saying,
Absolutely.
hey,
Actually,
we see,
one
we
of them
see
right
you.
here.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna sell fucking copies by doing this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. They'll definitely see a spike. And I think it's brilliant because they don't give the game away, but they give you a healthy chunk of it. And I think that's amazing. It's
Yeah.
absolutely great.
I mean, I was one of the ones that didn't buy it. I
Mhm.
just I don't know. I didn't even play the beta.
Right.
I've never played any of the Dooms, so I just wasn't like those
Youngin.
fans.
Youngin.
For sure.
He
Well, maybe
just
it'll
wanted
catch
to
me.
drink. Leave him alone.
Oh, hey.
Funny.
I'm not
We
hating. I'm defending.
All right.
Stop hating, Danny. Stop hating.
Slow your roll. And I felt like it was just punch after punch with Bethesda. Elder Scrolls Online is opening up to Japan,
That is.
Pond.
which in and of itself is a huge deal. I think that's ridiculously cool. Wish we had Joey to gauge his reaction from it, but I think he's asleep.
That
Oh,
very
Lord.
last announcement of
Mhm.
for Elder Scrolls Online.
Have
That
you looked?
I don't really
Dog?
even know how that's gonna
Read
work.
the dog? We'll get to that part. The Dark Brother DLC Hood DLC coming out on Tuesday of this coming week. It felt a little Assassin's Creed-ish to me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Thank
I was
you.
like those outfits and the way she was sneaking. I was like,
Although they also said that new area. What was the name of the new area?
One
They said
Tamriel?
it's Mediterranean.
no, that's different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
hmm No, one Tamriel is different, but there is a new area, Danny. You're
Okay,
right.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, that confused me. But the new area, they say it's Mediterranean. I
Mhm.
think they're also taking heavy influences. Actually, I swore the first time I saw them that looks like Caribbean. What like Puerto Rico looks like. Like it had like the Caribbean. And actually, I swear to God, they showed a mission where she went after an overseer. And the overseer sound Haitian, like Crowley Haitian.
Creole Haitian.
Yeah, and it was just like I love it. I absolutely adore it, and I think the setting's beautiful. Although I was like, she's about to jump. Oh, she just up. Oh, assassins.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. But it looks very intriguing. I may even, with all the news that they dropped about Elder Scrolls Online, I may actually just start playing for the fun of it. And I'm gonna let Josh actually take it over because you can kind of explain it best. One Tamriel and what that's going to mean for the Elder Scrolls Online community. Because it's pretty big.
They just broke MMO RPG gaming is what they just did. So one of the biggest complaints that people that have been Elder Scrolls fans that were not fans of Elder Scrolls Online, one of their biggest complaints is that they didn't feel like they could get into Elder Scrolls because of the fact that there were certain limitations that are present within an MMORPG, like areas that you can't go to because they're level specific. Well, one Tamriel just completely broke everything, and there's going to be no level specific areas. Quests are not going to be level regulated. Raids are not going to be level regulated.
Yeah, but how does that work?
You're going to be able to go anywhere, play with your friends.
You can
do
just
whatever
fucking
you
kill
want.
anything.
attack whatever you want. And the only way that I'm guessing that this could work is that the game is going to be heavily gear based, which
What's the point of leveling up anymore?
there is no level structure. That's what they said, is that leveling is gone. Level structure is gone.
It's not that they'll be sent to a base level, and then there's no level cap after that. Like you can go anywhere. So if you run into level 80 whatever mage master, whatever the hell they're called, like it's all good. You might get annihilated, but you can go. There's no stopping.
Which pretty much means what I'm guessing is that the game is going to be. It's going to focus more on being skill based now, to where how you play is going to heavily affect how you survive, and the game is going to be heavily based off of gear. So if you go to what used to be very, very high level area, and you're sporting what used to be level 5 gear, sure, you might be able to kill things if you're really, really skillful with your build that you're using, but they might be able to one-hit you. It's going to be really interesting to see all the details that come out about it and how they're going to structure it. But I mean, if they do this right and they knock this out of the park right, every other MMO that is going to be getting made in development or is out there on the market just kind of got put on notice. That was like, if you don't do this or start trending this way, you're a relic.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, so many new things to discuss, and it all centered around Bethesda. I think quite the conference. So we talked about VR. We're going to talk about my game, Dishonored 2. I cannot tell you how much I love this series, truly. And it was a game that my buddy Carl, who was on talking about his store a few weeks back, he gave to me on a whim. Like, I happened to buy the game with GameStop reward points at the time, and didn't think anything of it, and ended up playing through it 3 times because it's so unique.
Okay, to someone who's never played it, how would you describe it?
It's definitely a first-person strategy, but you don't playing it like a first-person shooter where you just run and gun and kill everybody isn't necessarily the best way to do things.
I mean, you
in every
can do
situation. You can, absolutely. You can absolutely go full chaos if you want, and the amount of unique powers and the way they put weapons together and mix that with the supernatural abilities, there were so many cool things to do, but you get better outcomes by showing restraint. And it's funny because there is a way that you can play Dishonored without actually killing anybody.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard about that.
It can be done, and I did it, and it was extremely difficult.
I always
sorry. Go ahead. No, you're fine.
No, I was just gonna say it's always looked like a mix of Assassin's Creed with BioShock. Is that a good description?
Yes to BioShock, no to Assassin's Creed. Just because, yes, you're rewarded for stealth, but it's not mandatory. Again, you can literally run through a level and just go to town on everybody and wreck shop.
There's a video of this one guy.
Yes.
I don't remember his YouTube name, but there's this video of this one guy that is like the Dishonored master, and he will he could get in the very beginning of the level and he could kill like half the level from just standing in the very beginning of the level. Like, he wrecks.
The beginning of his video, he shoots like 3 arrows into the air at random, runs around, kills 2 other people, kills a couple other people, turns around, and then the 3 guys that he's looking at die from the arrows he shoots in the air.
Oh my god.
Like, it's the most insane thing you'll ever see. But the cool thing about the game is, one, the set pieces. You know, I love the fact that they led with that, even though I was worried they weren't going to show any gameplay. The art in the game, the steampunk world, even in Dishonored 1, was absolutely amazing, and it's cool to see that they've elevated that for the new generation, and it looks so gorgeous. And the story is absolutely cool too. You know.
That's why I get that BioShock feel from it.
Hmm. Well, it's you know, you play in the first one, you play a dishonored royal guard, basically, who's protecting a child, and the child is now the protagonist of Dishonored 2, all grown up, who also we find out is his daughter,
Yeah.
which I didn't know. So I thought that's cool to add
You
to the
didn't know
lore as
that?
well. I didn't.
I
I mean,
played.
I knew once, you know, towards the end, you kind of figure it
Oh.
out. But
Yeah,
you know,
I
it,
played the beginning of the game, and I've played it a few times. Yeah, I figured out those two were fucking at the beginning.
maybe I just didn't want to see it, or something.
By the way, also, I want to
Uh,
apologize. I thought we were. I had a brain fart. I thought we were talking about Dishonored earlier when we were talking
Yeah.
about Elder Scrolls Online. That's what I was talking. I was talking about Elder Scrolls, not Elder Scrolls. I was talking about the Division. Damn it, Dishonored.
Yeah, I was really confused when you were talking earlier. I was
I was
like,
talking about Dishonored, Dishonored by accident earlier. I heard something that made my brain go, "Oh, this is what we're talking about now," and because I was distracting myself, I'm sorry. So no, but it does sound like that it's beautifully set, like you were saying, John.
mhm.
Absolutely beautifully set. I love how they said something in that, and I don't know if it's bullshit or that advertising kind of speak out of the side of your mouth bullshit. But I really do believe it when they said we try to make everything look like moving art.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's
I buy into that. I think it sounds amazing and looks amazing.
you know, and hearing the passion behind it, like I was like, oh, you know, I could see why I was so drawn to the first Dishonored in the first place. You know, because it's you know, there's a level where you're going into a masquerade ball at night, and then you see the fireworks light up, and then you see steampunk type sentries guarding the area. So it's like this huge play on the beauty of the nobility, and you're about to crash this party versus everybody else outside in the cold, wallowing in squalor, and you know, you see rats running through and plague type deal, and that was when the game totally had me. I'm like, this is the shit. This is the absolute shit.
I'm really worried about something in the game because as they were going through the trailer, not the trailer, all the trailers that compromised that entire thing. I kept seeing things, and my mind kept putting them together, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. It's going to depress me if you do that. Because in the demo it shows a select scene, which obviously is after you're talking. Corvo and Elizabeth are talking, and it gets to a select scene where you can choose Corvo or choose her. When they did the gameplay trailer and it showed like a bunch of like little images popping up and whatnot of like different things going on, I swear one of the things that I saw was Corvo laying dead on the ground and Emily picking up something of his, which gave her abilities. And I was like, dude, that does not happen right after the freaking select screen, does it? Because that would depress the crap out of me.
No, because you can play as both throughout the whole game.
Okay, no, but you'd be diverging storylines.
Yeah, because that particular scene was the beginning of the game. So that
I know that.
That wouldn't make any type of sense. You're talking about the heart. Yeah, that actually was in the first one.
No, I know it was in the first
one.
No,
the ring. I think he's talking about the ring.
Yeah, she pulls the ring like off of a corpse, and then she puts it on her own finger. And I was like, dude,
Corvo. I don't think it's Corvo.
No, that wouldn't make any type of sense to what Game Informer was talking about in their article for Dishonored 2.
Because that would depress the crap out of me. Because I'd be like, dude,
me too, man. He's Corvo is now in probably my top 10 of favorite heroes in a video game.
Is he better than Altair?
No.
Or
no,
no, he's not better than Ezio di Firenze Altatore.
I like him too, but Altair is my favorite. He's the original, man. He's the OG assassin, homie.
Dude, the greatest assassin ever is Ezio Altatore di Firenze.
He's dope. he's had the most shine. I'll give you that.
Dude, no, you got to think of the political structure that was the assassin. Like Altair never hit that level.
How do you get any more political than the goddamn Crusades?
By being the Grand Assassin.
Dude, whoa.
Ezio was the Grand Assassin.
Altair was the Grand Assassin.
Grand Assassin. Yeah.
No. Okay. You are absolutely correct. But then during the Renaissance, Ezio took it to another level.
Yeah, Ezio did murder a pope, so.
I mean, that's
That's
Damn it! No, the Catholic doesn't want to admit it.
That's pretty dope.
Well, it was also the Borgias.
It was a cool scene. It was a really cool scene.
Yeah, it was a great scene. The Borgias were not real Catholics.
But anyway, I honestly highly recommend to any of the guys, in the group and anybody listening, if you have not played Dishonored, you can get it on the cheap. I think it's like $20 right now. Get the
DLC.
Yeah, with the full DLC, with everything, because the DLC is amazing too. The DLC is so good. And just pick it up and play it, through it. I think it's great. You'll get an idea of what the world is about, and why Dishonored 2 to me is actually so special, because one, it was like Link talking for Dishonored 2 when they decided to put voices to the characters and have them have actual dialogue, because Corvo didn't talk during the entire game in Dishonored 1. He didn't actually have a voice. It was very Linkish. He didn't talk at all. So to have dialogue and to get more background story and more information about who these people are and who the characters were is actually kind of cool, because a lot of it, even after the game ended in Dishonored 1, is completely shrouded in mystery. So,
does it also feel like the mechanics feel smoother?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they got beefed up, and the thing is, it was pretty smooth to begin with. Compared to other games that came out on the 360 that I played in, I can't even say that genre because Dishonored kind of stands alone. But
yeah,
compared to BioShock Infinite, which was a very smooth game. Dishonored is on another level, so I'm excited to see how they capitalize on it. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I always expected it to feel like Fallout movement, which is really stiff and like.
No.
Yes.
No, dude, it flows like
you played. It feels more like Thief movement, where like if I had to put a game to it, Thief movement feels very fluid and fast, especially if you have his like dash abilities. That's exactly how Corvo moves in Dishonored. He moves very fast and fluid.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying,
you can just creep along. You don't have to move fast and fluid. You can do whatever you want.
And that's the real key. You get the freedom of all the Fallouts, the freedom of what game were we talking about?
Elder Scrolls.
Skyrim, thank you. And Elder Scrolls. Locked into the first-person shooter kind of confine, but you don't feel. It's a little bit more linear. It's definitely not necessarily open world, but it's there. Everything interacts with you, and it just like The Witcher, Ryan. When you do something, it has an effect on the rest of the world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
start killing a whole shit ton of people, and the city descends into chaos.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
Lewis, did you play Oblivion? Elder Scrolls Oblivion?
No.
Did you play Skyrim at all?
Oh yeah, I played the hell out of it.
Okay. Did you get the Dark Brotherhood questline?
The Dark Brotherhood what?
Did you play as the Dark Brotherhood at all?
Oh no, I'm always good in those games. At least first playthrough.
I was gonna say, because there's a lot of things that or even in Fallout games where you're given quests, but you can like finish them in creative ways, like where you might be given a target to kill and you can creatively kill them by doing my favorite thing, sticking a frag grenade in their pocket and walking away. But you can kill them or kill them via accidents or whatnot. Like Dishonored's targets have multiple ways that you can come at them. So if you wanted to be a brute and just run into a room and stab him in the face until he dies, go ahead and do that. But if you wanted to be more, more like a sleuth, you could, poison his beverage, or you could drop a chandelier on somebody, or there's multiple things that you could do.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
And then you get assassin targets, and there's ways to ruin their lives without actually killing them.
Yeah.
Like there was one mission where
you can get other people to kill them, actually.
Yeah, and you can get them to did in front of the wrong person, like which ruins their whole career and whatnot. And then you've stabilized the reason without killing anybody, and you've also gotten the result you want and your revenge. So it's it's so crazy to think about that, because when I first played the game, I was running around killing people, and I wasn't being punished for it necessarily, but I noticed that the city was changing, so I changed tactics, and I started looking around for other ways to solve problems, and then I realized that not only were there one or two, but there's actually 4 or 5 different ways to go about the same mission. And that made it even much more fun, because I wanted to try it a whole bunch of different ways. So, yeah. I'm glad you're making Dishonored 2 to Bethesda. Can't wait to play it.
I don't like stealth.
Actually, the trailers make me want to go back and try for the 3rd or 4th time to get that game to grab me, because it just looks like all the mat's there for me. And I just play it for about 3 hours and I go...
I just don't like stealth games. Never have.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, about Dishonored. Dishonored doesn't have to be a stealth
necessarily a stealth game. Exactly.
You don't have... The problem is you watch a lot of people play Dishonored, and they play it half stealth and half not, or they play full stealth because they like the challenge of it.
And it's also kind of what the game is pointed towards anyways.
For some people, playing stealth might be easier to them because you're killing people without having any real consequence for it. You're taking people out without alerting anybody. But if you wanted to play Dishonored and be a run and gun, nightmare for anybody that you come up against, it's completely possible.
And that's the thing. If you want to be Leroy Jenkins and do all that shit, do it, because that's my normal play style.
Pull John and Gears, yeah.
It really is.
John, where'd you go? I'm over here. John, I'm dying. Don't worry, I'll get back. Oh, never mind, I was killed.
Listen, I got things to do, man. If you can't keep up, that's not my problem.
By the way, I just want to, even though this is a reaction cat to Bethesda, and we've already mentioned it, Coalition, please do not let any horrible game-breaking or annoying bugs be in Gears of War 4, because I swear to God, if me and John have to restart a freaking mission again because of the fact that we can't get an enemy to spawn that needs to spawn in order for us to finish the mission, I'm going to scream.
See, I feel like I've never had that happen. But
yeah, well, we didn't either until Gears of War Judgment.
And it happened all the time.
But guys, thank you for joining us for the Bethesda Reaction Cast.
Wait.
What?
My late.
Oh God.
Well, I'm gonna let you take it. So please.
Okay.
Please
oh God, it's NeoGaf.
It's legitimate. Just look at it. Okay. In the beginning of the show, there was a very hidden Easter egg for that hints at a new Wolfenstein called New Colossus.
Or so he thinks.
By the way, I went to your link. File not found.
What?
Yeah, same here.
Wait, hold on.
It's conspiracy.
I just
I want to see how this plays out. Go ahead.
Let me put it in the chat
Do
then.
your thing.
Go click that.
Oh, that chat.
Wolfenstein.
New Colossus. Yeah, all right.
Oh, hey!
Oh, that's not bad.
This
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
Look at this man right here. Respect.
seriously?
Well, no.
Is this the first time you guys were finally willing to look at his link?
I know.
No, we couldn't. I tried to hit it like 5 or 6 different times, and it kept saying "file not found." So I was like, "Well."
No, I looked at it
Okay,
as soon as he put it in there.
Lewis, I want you...
Hey, you know what it could relate to?
What's up?
New Colossus is the penned poem that's actually engraved on a plaque in the Statue of Liberty. So it could mean Wolfenstein's going to America.
America.
Man in the High Castle.
America.
Totally, which is a great show. Check that shit out.
Okay. Ryan, I don't know if you know what a Man in the High Castle means.
America.
You're saying America. Oh, God. The dog saying that you're acting stupid.
Tell me something I don't know.
Honestly, that is a great way to end this, man. That's really cool. If that actually is true.
That's really neat.
Yeah, because Wolfenstein honestly came out at the perfect time when there wasn't that much to do for Xbox One, and it was a great game. Absolutely great game.
If they go down that angle with the American angle, dude, the Wolfenstein's the new Red Alert with crazy ass World War II.
Because Wolfenstein's always been based over in Europe, so if they brought it to the States for the first time.
Does the main character just wake up like? Okay. Well. Yeah. I think it's a good place to leave there.
Who knows? I mean, that's still awesome though.
In their alternate universe, is there a Hitler or not?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mecca Hitler.
No, the Nazis are ran by Donald Trump.
I don't play them.
There's a video game.
Mecha Cheeto.
Anywho. We'll try this one more time. Again, thank you guys for listening to the Bethesda Reaction podcast. Stay tuned with us all week. What is the next one that we will be doing?
Microsoft!
Yes. As most of us are Xbox players, we are kind of excited to see what's been going on, what Microsoft is up to. There's a lot on the table, a lot of speculation. And stay tuned for that cast. We will be doing that right after the Microsoft presentation. Thank you guys very much for listening. On behalf of Cleverly Named Games, we'll talk to y'all later.
Adios.
Peace.
I miss you, PJ.
I don't.
That's because